Right, I'm back again. Is anyone there? Let's hope we're round the right way this time. Let's just see. I'm just bringing you up on my iPad so I can see you all. Right, I've got you all now. Lovely. So I can see everybody. Okay, good morning. Is anyone there now? I've got someone there. I'm trying to see your comments come up. I had a bit of a technical hitch. It was round the other way. I'm trying to get a bigger surface area for you all to see. So morning Chris, morning Barbara. I know there's going to be quite a few of you joining this morning. Hi Ellen. Now have any of you, hi Carol, has anybody been over and printed off the look, they're all coming on board now. They're all joining me. Lovely. So who's printed off their sheet? Give me a thumbs up if you printed off your sheet that we're going to work on today. Yes? So, right, we've got 14 of you so far. That's brilliant. So we're going to make a start then. Okay, because I'm aware that we've got people from all over. We've got people from Gloucester. Oh, yeah, let me know where you're all coming from, because that's good, because I've had some ladies get in touch from New Zealand, Australia, Spain, Germany. So, yeah, let me know where you are. I've had a message from Helen. She's working today, so she's going to join up on the YouTube channel. What's that saying there? Oh, this lady's only just found... You've only just found me. So did you find me on Facebook or YouTube? Because I shared the little taster that what we're doing today on YouTube this week, so more people could join in. So I'm hoping the camera angle's right. I keep fiddling with it because I'm working upside down and back to front. So, right, we're from London. We've got people from London. Right, you have to bear with me today. I've got a sty in my eye, or on my eye, unfortunately. So I haven't got my contact lenses in. I'm doing without lenses and glasses. So just bear with me trying to read your comments because I'm here. Could you see my hands? I'm here. But my iPad's right over there. It's attached to my... is attached to the pole. So we've got people from Manchester, New Zealand. What time of the day is New Zealand? I know you joined in last week, didn't you? Yeah, what time is it in New Zealand? That must be really early in the morning in New Zealand, or very late at night, I think. So there's Dawn. That's another Dawn, friend of mine. So, right, so let's make a start then, shall we? So she says she's just recovered from... Oh. You've just had a sty. Oh, I'm 2 days in. I'm hoping the star in my eye, I'm going to be okay. I saw the chemist yesterday, so fingers crossed I don't have to see the doctor. But anyway, enough about me. Let's make a start on this crafting. You can see my bit of messy desk. So I hope you've gathered all your supplies. Oh, New Zealand, 20 to 11 in the evening. So, oh, not too bad. You can do this then and pop to bed. So not too bad time-wise, because last week we did it in the afternoon, Greenwich Mean Time, and it did tag in a bit with people's tea times. So I'm trying 10:30 this time. So actually that might work for you then, in New Zealand then. This sort of time might work best. And also here in the UK, as a lot of you around the world, the internet is playing up a little bit with everybody being on the internet. So this time of day might be a little bit better as well. Plus the fact the sun is shining beautifully outside, which is fantastic. But it's no good in my craft room because in the afternoon the sun comes streaming through the windows and I have to shut the curtains, which is a bit of a shame. So I've got my printout. This is page sketch 1. Now, if you've only just found me and you're joining in today, lovely to see 20 of you on board, 21 on board. They're still coming on board. Great. You can join in with the chat this time. This video I will then upload over onto my YouTube channel. So if you want to do it later on, just join in with the chat this time and then do it at your leisure or whenever you like. It's entirely up to you. It's going to be on my YouTube channel and you can watch it again and again and craft along with me. So we're working with page sketch 2. I left the link to my website so you could download this. This is something I do with my scrapbook class. The scrapbook class I'm up to at the moment, they're on... This month will be sketches 26 and 27, I want to say. So So yes, this is number 2, Jean. So last week was number 1. So if you missed last week's, Jean, not to worry. You can pop over to my YouTube channel and you can see page sketch 1 and the video exactly as we're doing today. Okay? So that is the page sketch we're going to use. This is the actual layout we did in class with the kit that we had in class. Okay? But what I want you to do at home, because everybody's on lockdown, and I'm sure lots of you have got lots of crafty stash. Okay? So, oh, it's nice for everybody to say hello. I'm only seeing parts of your comments coming up. So it's nice to see everybody chatting and saying good morning to each other. So, hello everyone. So this is the one we did in class with the kit that we had. But as I say, once you've got these sketches, I'm sure lots of you have got crafty stash at home, in your craft rooms, in your craft cupboard, in your bags, that you can use. So I did the little video telling you the supplies that you would need. Did you find that video helpful? Because I'm hoping so, because it just gives people a starter point. They can find what they need ahead of the class. Because this is it. Because we're on lockdown, no kits, but you've got enough stash out there. I know you have, ladies and gentlemen. So David messaged me today. He's working, so he couldn't join in. But he is going to join in on the YouTube channel. Because as I said, it'd be over on there. So I said 1 piece of cardstock. So we're going straight in with it, ladies. So get your trimmers out ready. Oh, good evening from Australia. So we've got Australia and New Zealand here. Hello. Thank you for joining us. And I hope you're going to enjoy it. I hope it's not too late in the evening. So you've got your piece of cardstock and just check that it measures 12 inches by 12 inches. Now, are you seeing all of my trimmer? You're probably not. I'm not quite sure what you're seeing down there. Oh, Maggie's watching from her break from work, but she can do it at the weekend. You can, totally indeed, of course you can. So I've got my cardstock, 12 inches by 12 inches. Now, I've been very kind because this week we're not gutting, okay? We're just going to keep it nice and simple, okay? So if we look at our sketch, and I'm doing it this way for any newbies or beginners that are to scrapbooking. I had a lady message me this week. She says she's never scrapbooked, saw the video the other week, and she has decided to join and start scrapbooking. What's Karen saying? Up a bit. Right, you're not seeing it. Or actually, let me see if I can tilt my camera down a bit. Right, the iPad's on a delay from my phone that's filming, so let's just see what you can see now. Is that better? That looks about perfect. Right. So if you look at your page sketch, and the nice thing about these, if you're a beginner, it's a good starting point. Okay. It's a nice place to start. And the thing with it is, I've given you the basic measurements, but as to your finished layout, and you will see this at the end with everybody with their finished layouts, it's the embellishments, the photographs, the titles that will make everyone look totally different. Okay, so that is the good thing about it. So we're going to start off with this black section here that says 5 inches by 10 inches. So I've got my cardstock, that's all ready. So now I'm thinking, what am I going to put at the back? I've got double-sided paper here. I think I'm going to go for this on that back strip. So I need to cut this 5 inches by 10 inches. So down we go. So that's 5. And then bring that in at 10. Okay, so that's my first piece. Then you need another piece that is 3.5 inches by 10. So let me have a look at how my paper is going to look. So what shall we go with here? I don't really want autumn leaves, because these are the pictures I've picked for this layout. So this is when we were over in Ireland. This is my husband and the children. They climbed right up all these rocks and they're standing on the rocks overlooking the bay, actually where Game of Thrones was filmed. So these are the pictures I'm using. So I don't really want autumnal leaves because it was in the summer. So I think I'm going to go with this one next. I'm going to have this one. So I'm going to have this one measure in. Oh, hi David. David's watching. He's got... Oh, hi David. He's watching. He's got a conference call and he's watching at the same time. That's fantastic. So you can catch up on this later on over on YouTube, which would be brilliant. So it's nice for you to join in. And I think, did you catch up last week, David? Because if not, last week's video is also over on YouTube. So you can see us there. So I've now got my main piece, my 5 by 10 and my 3.5 by 10. Have we all got to that stage now? Give me a thumbs up if you have. If not, I'll just wait a moment for you, because I want this to be in real time. I'm getting a bit of a shadow there. I've tried to get some lighting on, but... So I can't see many thumbs up. Are we there? Yes, we're getting thumbs up now. Brilliant. That's great. I just want you all to join in together. That's fantastic. Right. So we got those two bits. So the next piece is 8.5 by 8 inches. So for that, I'm going to use my paler bit because I think it will show my photographs up nicely. Okay. So I'm going to use that piece. So this is 8.5 by 8. I'm trying to keep up with your comments while I'm going along. So Sue says, hi Kerry, how are you managing? Is Kerry a newbie? Is she a new scrapbooker? Does anyone know? I don't know, Kerry, so I'm not sure. But hopefully, because I think this class is perfect for even newbie scrapbookers. So what measurement did I do then? I'm talking and I'm not doing it. So I did 8.5. So I now need to do 8. Okay. So that is my square there. So I've got these 3 pieces all on board. So have we all got those? Yeah, we're all there. Oh, Lynn's on board. She's caught up. Now, Lynn, I'm trying to remember, whereabouts were you living? Because I know last time you said about the live, didn't you? So I'm just trying to sort out timings with where everybody is. Now, in the scrapbook classes that I run, each time we try and do different techniques or bring in little different tips and things to each class. Now, I know I've got a lot of seasoned scrapbookers watching as well, and sometimes it's quite nice to revisit some of the things that we forget about. So one of the things I'm going to do this time is we're not actually going to mat and layer these photographs. I'm going to use, this is a Stampin' Up white, and I've also got Queensland, Australia. So we've got 2 from Australia. So it's 2 from Australia tuning in today, ladies. And 1 from New Zealand. Lots from the UK. And I've also got an opaque Harmony in white. Now, white ink pads are quite good to have in your basic crafty stash. If you're new to scrapbooking or new to crafting, I would say get white because it's quite handy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a clean ink pad. In fact, I'm going to get a brand new cleaning one. Now, I forgot to tell you to add this to your crafty stash. So if you're in your craft room and you've got a white, grab it now. Okay, because I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. Oh, Lynn and Kerry, do you know each other? Looking at the chat, I'm being nosy now. I'm listening into the chat. So I've got my white and I've just got a blending pad. So if you have white at home, Stampin' Up, anything, you know, Memento, anything like that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dust in fact, you'll see it better on here, on the darker part where the rocks are. I'm just dusting in on the photograph. So just, I'll bring it up to the camera so you can see. So you've just got a little bit of white coming in on the photographs. Okay, it's quite nice. It makes them look quite aged. If you're using old photographs, let me bring in the original here. If I hold that up, can you see there where I've used the black and white? Even on a black and white, it makes the photograph, even though it's reprinted, it makes it look quite old. Is that close enough for everyone? I hope so. Yeah, can you see where you're just getting that aged look? So it's a bit of a cheat's way of making some of your old photographs that you're printing off digitally look old. So I'm just dragging a piece of that in because we're not actually going to matte and layer the photographs this time. So it's quite nice to do different techniques each time. And even if you're a card maker and you're not a scrapbooker and you want to join in, I'm sure you've got inks at home. So yeah, so I'm just going to bring that in, and I'm going to do that on the both photographs, and I'm doing it now just so it's got a little bit of time to dry. The Stampin' Up! White ink pad's a bit more juicy. Okay, so just to let you know about that one. Who's saying that? Yes, the photograph is me, and I'm a 62 baby. So yes, this is me in the pram with my blonde curly hair. So I was born dark, went blonde and curly, went jet black, and now all the grey's coming through. It's gone blonder and blonder again. So yes, I was born in 62. So this is in the garden, strapped into my big bassinet pram. My mum had one of those big bassinet prams. So yes, that was me. So, and those pictures were actually taken. My mum and dad only had those on, you know, the old-fashioned plastic slides. That is off a plastic slide, and then I took it to a place and I got them printed out so you could have them digitally. So if you've got old pictures like that, I mean, I've been sorting out my mum and dad's old pictures, archive pictures, and their honeymoons all on 3x3 glass slides, and some of their wedding pictures are on glass slides. Now, all my mum and dad's wedding pictures, because they would have been married 64 years this year, they were all black and white, but we found a box of these 3x3 glass slides, and when we had them printed out, they're actually in colour, so you can see the colour of the bridesmaids' dresses and everything, which is fantastic. So I've just taken just that little suggestion around the edge of the photograph. So if you've got white, do that. So I'm just going to pop those to one side to dry. Now, we could just stick this down as it is, okay, which is absolutely fine, okay, but how many of you have got something like this in your craft stash? There's that one there. That's the Tim Holtz one that I've had for years and years and years, and I'm going to find you another one that I recently got. So that one's a Tim Holtz one I've had for years and years. And this one is a Crafter's Companion one. And I know the Crafter's Companion one, I think they're only like sort of $2.99. They're ever so reasonably priced. So if you haven't got one of these little tools, again, that's something quite good to invest in. So what this is going to do is this is going to mean we can roughen up the edges to make it look a little bit more distressed and old looking. So again, another technique that we haven't used before. So what you get is, with this, you've got tiny little blades in each of these sections. Okay. So, and it's like this. I mean, I keep a string on that to keep that attached to my craft bag. But if you look at it, it's designed so you can hold it between your finger and your thumb. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to drag it around the edges to roughen them up. Okay, so it gives a distressed look. So you don't have to do this. If you don't want to and you just wanted to ink your edges, that's absolutely fine as well. But I'm going to do it like this because each time we get together, I'm trying to teach you something that you haven't done before. It doesn't matter, Susan, that you're a bit late. Don't worry at all. The live will be here on the Facebook anyway for you to join in from the beginning. But I'm going to also upload this video over on my YouTube channel, Dawn's Inspirations, if you look on YouTube. I'm popping it over there as well. So lots of people can see it, because I've got nearly 22,500 subscribers over there. So I've started putting some of these lives over on there. So can you see it's just giving that rough edge look? Okay. So you'll get a little bit of this fibres, but that's absolutely fine. You can rough it up as much as you like, or if you don't like that look, you entirely don't have to. Okay, but I'm going to do it. I'm not going to go big distressing. It's called distressing. I'm not going big distressing, but this isn't distressing as in, what do I want to say? It's not distressing as... Right, Jean says if you don't have one of these, you can use scissors. And you're absolutely right, Jean. So let me show the ladies that don't have one of these how they can do it with scissors. So if you're going to do it with scissors, Jean is absolutely right. You get a pair of scissors. And what you need to do is just to open it up and just scrape along the edge. And you can do exactly the same thing. Thank you, Jean. I was going to bring that up later, but thank you for bringing that in, because you're absolutely right. There might be some ladies panicking at home that they want to try this and they haven't got the tool. But I think you'll agree the tool's quite a nifty way to do it, and they're not expensive. So quite a good investment. I mean, I've had this one years. I've never replaced it at all till I got sent this one, and they're only cheap. I mean, £2.99 is nothing, is it? Okay. And it's not going to cut you at all because the blades are sunk right into the plastic. All right. So who's distressing? Can you give me a thumbs up while you're distressing? Have we got people distressing? Yeah, we're getting some thumbs up for distressing. That's brilliant. Oh, Diana's come on. She said it's the first time she's watched this. Oh, that's nice that you've joined us, Diane. And don't be afraid by it at all. If you just want to join in with the chat now, that's absolutely fine. Okay. And then what you can do, yes, I'm going to talk to you, Diane. This is the nice thing about the lives. I can talk to you all, but you can't talk back to me. You'll just have to comment instead. But it's nice that you can join in. And if you just want to join in with the chat this time, then gather your supplies. As I say, the video's here as a live, and it will be over on my YouTube channel as well, so you can watch over there afterwards. So looking at how many we got on board, I think we got sort of 26. What's Joe saying? Joe says she can never find her Tim Holtz one. No, this is why I put a string on mine, Joe. I try and peg it to my craft bag, but sometimes I forget about it. So yeah, tie a string to it, Joe. You'll have to get a one of those circular, like what am I thinking of? Keyring holders. Anne says she's covered in bits of paper now. She's started sneezing. Yeah, you'll have to dust your craft room after this, Anne. So, I'm not going to go too heavily distressed. And yes, you will have fibres on your table. So, let me just show you, for those that are just watching and joining in with the chat. Look, there you go. That's what you're going to get. You're going to have that lot. It's like sandpaper. Okay. So, you know where this is going to go. It's going on the craft room floor for now, and I'll hoover up later. Because I can't be bothered to find the bin. So I haven't gone too heavily distressed. Another thing you can do is actually tear some of the sides down and things as well. All right. So let's just lay these on so I can see where I'm positioning things. So I'm going to go there and there. And also another thing I wanted to mention, and let me just check I've got my, so it's your 8.5 across. Okay, ladies, 8.5 across. So that's joining in across. Hi, Diane. How's your new job going? Is it going okay? I do hope so. So we've got 8.5 across, and we've got these two here. Now, I'm using 2 portrait photographs for mine, okay, because they fit nicely on there. And when I actually designed the page sketch, that's what I had in mind. But remember, these page sketches are a guide. This is a guide for you. There's nothing stopping you turning it to the side, okay? So you could turn it to the side. So you could turn your whole layout that way and have 2 horizontal photographs, okay? So look at these page sketches in different ways when you're using them, because you can use them in a variety of ways. Another thing you can do is, if you've got horizontal pictures, all right, is pretend these are horizontal. You could have them laying like that, okay? So don't be too worried if, when I say get on the sketch, you need 2 photos of this size, or, you know, you've got to have a horizontal. Don't be too worried about it. Use the page sketch to your advantage. This is a base. This is a reference for you to start off with, okay? So I'm going to have mine round that way. Now, before I stick anything down, I'm going to look at this circle. Now, do you remember yesterday? Hi, Sally. Do you remember yesterday I talked about elements that you could use that you'd have in your crafty stash? So in the original layout we did in class, we had a doily. Okay, I know lots of people don't like doilies. That's not a problem. But I did say that you could use, this is a die cut, circular die cut. So you could die cut a circle and pop behind there. Okay, it's just softening the page. You don't have to have that element in at all if you don't want. This is where the choice is entirely yours. Okay, this is a base, and I want you to use your imagination or how you want to use it. Another thing I said you could use is a stencil. So I've just got a round stencil here. Okay, so I'm going to do a round stencil at the back of mine. Okay, so I'm going to bring this over a little bit more where it's got to be. I'm going to do a round stencil. Now, if you don't have a round stencil, but you say, I bet all of you have got a saucer or a cup or anything circular, you could also just ink around the edge of a plate, anything, okay? Die cut a circle and ink around the edge. So this is where, use what you've got at home. This is what these lives are all about. It's using what you've actually got, okay? So I'm going to do my stenciling on here. So I'm just going to move my papers to one side. I've picked out an ink that I think will go with my collection, and I'm just going to ink through, okay? But remember, you don't have to ink all this bit down here because it's going to be hidden. So I'm not sticking my stencil down, I'm just going for it. Okay, again, these are things that I bought years ago, and I mean years ago. I mean, I've been scrapbooking probably 15 years now. And you go to craft shows and we all go along. Some of the ladies I go with, you know what we're like. We see something new and we've got to buy it, and we'll use it once and then it's sitting in our crafty stash doing nothing. So this is one of those items. So that is fine. That's given me that illusion. That's perfect. And I would just clean that off with a baby wipe if people are asking. Okay, because I know we've got some newbie crafters out there. So I think that we're now ready to start sticking these elements down. So I'm just using my all-purpose Calal, but any wet glue will do. If you prefer to use tape pen, or if you prefer to use double-sided tape, that's all up to you. Yeah, I think Edwin Stowe Scrappers, Jean, has been going 15 years now. I went to the first one with Alison, and I've still got my layout. Well, of course I've got my layout. It's all in a book. It's all in my scrapbooks. And then I think Wendy joined the same time as me. She's not here at the moment, but Wendy joined the same time as me. Yes, Sally, I do like the look with the stencil. It does look good. And then I'm going to bring this one, and I'm just dropping it down. Okay, so it's, again, we're only using small pieces of paper. So if any of you are watching and just joining in with the chat this time, this is where you could just go through your crafty stash or your supplies and see what you've got. Okay, and be quite frugal. So I'm just going to drop that down, and that's come in. So that's that layer done. Okay, and then I'm putting my square on. So this is the 8.5 across and the 8 down, remember. Okay, so that can go in next. And if you want to pop a tag for journaling, leave a little pocket section at the top here. I know some of the ladies in my scrapbooking class will already be thinking they're just going to glue 3 sides because they've got an extra pocket to put, say, some memorabilia. Say I've got one of the leaflets that when we went to visit here, that could be tucked behind there. So everything is kept together. Things aren't in drawers and shoe boxes and all things like that. It's all kept nicely together. So in fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave a pocket. So I'm going to go around the edge. I'm going to come quite high up. I don't need to come, and I'm going to come in a bit. So, oh, let's put a piece there. So what I've done is I've got my glue there, round the bottom. I've come quite a way up the side, and I've gone in a bit there as well. Okay. So I'm going to bring that in and pop that down. So you've just got that suggestion of your circle. All right. And then I'm going to start adding my photographs. And this is where you can choose which way around you want to put them. Now I'm going to put mine this way because I've found that one of these chipboard pieces in my crafty stash, I'm going to pop that across there. So I'm going to have this one there first. So I'm going to stick these down. Now you're probably saying, why am I using Cal-Al with photographs? Because obviously it can, they say it's not totally acid free, but these are reprints. Okay, so don't worry about that at all. You know, if they were originals, I wouldn't be using my Cal-Al the same. Okay. And I'm going to put that one, and I'm going to stagger that one just across it and bringing it down just a bit so it covers that area. So are you all now with me still? Are we still together? Am I getting thumbs up from people? Are we still here? It's gone very quiet. Oh, yeah, they're coming now. This is the thing. The iPad I'm looking at, so I'm reading your comments, is slightly delayed. So good, you're all up to speed then with where we are. Okay, so I've just picked up this chipboard piece. If you haven't got a chipboard piece like that, if you've got even a die cut that you could die cut a square or a long thing, or even just with your trimmer, cut something out, because what I've done is I've actually used it to put my journal, well, my title. I actually used it for the title. Okay, another thing you could do with this is put paper on. So I think I'm going to do a bit of both. Right, Jo's lost her masks, so she's going to catch up later. That's absolutely fine, Jo. The best thing about it is to enjoy it. Now I'm going to colour this with some alcohol ink, and I'm just looking at the colours I've got here, because I'm going to do a bit of alcohol ink and a bit of, oh, that might work. That might be a bit dark. It's a bit darker than I wanted. I wanted to bring more of this rusty colour in, but no, I think that would do. Carol's looking for her stencils. Don't worry, Carol, you still look for your stencils. You've got time. I haven't got a clue what the time is. I haven't got a watch on me. Haven't got a clue, but it doesn't matter. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start colouring this in. But I'm not going to colour the whole thing in because I'm going to put a square of paper as well. So I'm just going to go around the edge. Again, these are things that I've had in my crafty stash for years. You know, the things you keep, you buy and you think, oh, I need that, and then you don't use it. So, Lynn's losing us a bit. Oh, she's got a storm overhead where she is. I think, Lynn, aren't you in Australia? We're okay here in the UK. We've got beautiful blue skies at the moment. Thoroughly enjoying it. I'm looking forward to the Easter weekend. So, I'm just colouring in round here. Doesn't matter, Lynn. You can catch up with us later, remember. You'll see it over on... where did you stick to leave a pocket? Right. Kate just asked that. Right, I've left my pocket here. I've left a pocket here in the top. So what I did was this piece, I glued around the edge. I came in a little bit there an inch and in a little bit there an inch. So I've got a big pocket there to put, you know, say if you've got a leaflet of where you've been, or say it's in an event like a wedding or anything like that, you could pop your invitations, anything in there. So I've coloured that like that because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paper on the top of that. So I'm not going to colour it all totally. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And then I'm just going to measure that to cut a piece of paper to stick on. So that's 2 inches by 1 2/8. So I'm just going to trim a little bit of paper up for that. I'm going to go with this lighter colour again because I can write onto this. By 1 2/8, didn't I? Let's see if that will fit. Hopefully while I'm doing this you're all keeping up. See, that fits nicely on there, doesn't it? That's going to work beautifully on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a bit of the ink around the edge just so it ties in nicely. And then that can be stuck onto there. And I think I'm going to stick that. No, I'm going to stick that on with my normal colour. Right, we're getting hearts. Are we all keeping up? Now, who said they didn't find their ribbon this morning? Have you found your ribbon now? Because we're going to do that bit next. Have you found your ribbon? Whoever lost their ribbon. Yes, we're getting thumbs and hearts coming up. You're keeping up. Lovely. Right, so I've got that. That's going to go there with my title on. And then again, I've just been through my crafty stash and found some ribbon. Okay. Again, something, I think it was the same ribbon actually that I used on the original that we did for class. Yes, it is. So this is it. See, we buy all these things, don't we? So, for your ribbon, I'm going to thread mine in this way. If you've just got a shape you're going to stick down, that's not a problem as well. You need to put your ribbon across first. So if you find where you're going to pop your ribbon, and then I'm going to look for my tape. So I've just got some double-sided tape. So what should I say? Ribbons no go, I'm afraid. Right, don't worry about ribbon. If you haven't got ribbon, do not panic, because what you can do is, you see you've got your strips from your paper collection. You could put a piece of that across. So you could just cut that 12 by 12 and pop across. There's always a way. We've always got something in our craft stash that we can use. So if you don't have ribbon, you can use your pattern paper. But I'm going to use ribbon. So use your pattern paper. So cut that strip off across there so you've got a nice thin piece. And that will fit perfectly. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually position where I want this to be, because I don't want it down here and I don't want it right up there. So I'm going to tape it actually where I want it. Oh, Ellen, that's a good idea. Oh, Jean's using twine. Yes, you could use twine. That's a really good idea as well. You could do a couple of threads of twine. And Ellen's had a good idea. She's used her tag punch, I'm presuming something like this, to make a little threader. Perfect. See, there's always a way. See, the crafters, they'll always find something they can use. So I'm just popping a piece of double-sided on the back here, because this is then going to stick onto my photograph. In fact, that's a bit long. Now, I hope you don't mind me keep waffling on. I can see what you ladies are saying, and I know you can't answer me back, but I can read what you're saying, which is great. But I just think it's quite nice to film these things in real time, so you can see that you can do it as well, and you can actually craft along with me at the same time. So I've got my tape stuck on there, so I'm going to turn it round and pop it where I want it, which is going to be about there. Press that down, cut my ribbon. So if you haven't got ribbon and you've got twine, or if you've got a piece of that, oh, Joe's had another idea, you could use washi tape to match. Chris has come on. She's got a small tag die. That's even better, Chris. See, there's always a way, and we've always got something in our craft stash. Isn't it interesting when we don't have a proper kit that you can still craft along or scrap along? I was trying to think of something different to use. I thought scrap along was quite good, because you are all scrapping along with me. So I'm going to pop that on the back. And don't worry about the back of this, because I've got scraps here. You know what I'm going to do, don't you? I know a lot of you ladies that come on to tell me I can do another layout on the back. So that's there nicely. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to put anything on here. All right. Now it's just to add some embellishments. So this is where I said to you, have a look what you got in your craft stash. Now, I might add a few flowers onto mine. I know Jo said she's doing the layout of her son. So obviously she probably doesn't want flowers. But this is where, have a look and see what you've got in your craft stash. So as I said earlier, I keep this little set because they're quite handy. These are all little small nesting dies. So I've got hexagons, I've got stars, I've got triangles, tags, butterflies. Oh look, I've got some clouds here. You know, you've always got something in the crafty stash somewhere. So you can add elements like that if you wish. I think I'm going to pop a few flowers down there. And I might do some more journaling up here this time. And this is it. Every time you do a layout, every photograph is going to be different. So I'm going to die cut some flowers. Now I've got to find my flowers. They're here. I've got gems as well, remember. So let's have a sort out of what flowers I've got. These are my go-to favourites. A lot of you will know that already. But I think actually I'm going to pick some of these out this time for a change. So I think I'm going to have some of these like this. I think quite sort of, because they match in quite nicely with my papers at the back there. I think I'm going to go with those three. So this is it. You've always got something. So I'm going to bring my little machine in for this. I'm just going to slide that up there a little bit. Bring my machine in. And I'm going to die cut them, I think, out of the actual pattern paper itself. So where's my big scissors? I'm going to use my little Gemini. I've lost my big scissors. I know why, because I had them last night and I can't remember what I was doing with them last night. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was getting my scrapbook class kits ready together. Now, ladies, you know, when you've done these layouts, please do share them over on my Facebook page. And the Facebook page, I'd like you to share them to, because this is, or was a little bit of the problem last week. Because I'm doing these lives on Dawn's Inspiration. So where we are now, on this Dawn's Inspirations page, if you could share your finished layouts on there, that would be absolutely fantastic. Okay. So when you go to share them, if you go onto Facebook, you can go to, on my Facebook page, because it's a business one, if you go to community, you can just go onto community and you just upload like you would a normal post that you were doing on your own Facebook page. So you just upload your image. I will then see it and then I will share it over onto the main page. Okay, if you're not sure how to do it, you can private message me. So just message me your layout and a little bit about it, or you, and then I can upload that onto my page. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same as I did last week. I'm going to create an album on my page of all the different layouts, so everybody can see how different they all look with the like different papers and different photographs, because I think it's nice for you all to see the different versions of the same sketch. So I'm going to die cut some of these out of this colour as well. Going to see how many I can get on here. So I'm going to double layer these. Now who managed to, oh, that one's overlapped, don't overlap on me. Who managed to pick up some gems or get some gems out the crafty stash? Remember I said if you've got even just crystal gems, you can colour them with your pens. That's what I'm thinking of doing. So I'm just doing a few layers of flowers here just to make it look a bit more interesting. Okay. Right, there we go. So again, these are dies that I've had, I want to say for years, and it's embarrassing because I have, but again, they're quick go-to dies that come in handy. And that's why I quite like classes like this, because you can use things that you've got time and again. Jean said, just put mine on and it's looking good. Or what have you put on, Jean? Your flowers or your tag? Do share. Is it your flowers or your tag? Are you ahead of us this time? Because I'm too busy talking. As I said, you could use, I said yesterday, didn't I? I said you could use flowers that you bought as well. Because again, these are things that we buy over and over again. Now with these flowers, these are quite flat. And this is something, right, she hasn't got gems, so she's going to use splatters. Or have you got like a hole punch, even an office hole punch? Because even that type of thing, you could punch out some holes of pattern paper and stick those in the middle of your flowers. All my gems. Tag and I can't see that image, Jean, without putting my head right in there. Oh, and your flowers. Oh, Jean, you're well ahead of us. Am I going a bit slow, ladies? Are you all speeding ahead of me? Right, I'm just shaping my flowers, because doesn't that look better than that? And actually, I'm going to put a bit of ink on as well. So, yeah, if you've got flowers you already had, Jean says her flowers. Yeah, if you've got flowers in your crafty stash, I could have done that. But I thought, no, I die cut flowers. Let's do something different. I try and do something different each time. And hopefully show some of the new crafters different things they can try out. So are you enjoying it, Jean? Quite a nice way to spend an hour on a Wednesday morning, isn't it? I know the weather's nice outside, but it's just a little. We're only in here for an hour. or just over the hour, depends how long I talk. So, and also it's quite nice, it's making me forget about my eye. So thank you ladies, you're making me forget about my horrible eye. So I'm just going to shape these. See, doesn't that look nice like that? And I'm going to double layer these. So some of you new people out there may ask what I'm using. Yes, Carol, look at Jean. She's well ahead. Putting us all to shame. What are we going to do with her? Are you keeping up, Carol? I'm going to have to watch you two at the retreat this year, I think. You're going to be racing ahead of me. And hopefully the retreat will go ahead as planned in September. Hopefully we're all off lockdown by then. I think if we're not, we'll all be climbing the walls by September. So I think we'll be ready for a bit of a retreat. A bit of crafting. The ideas are all there, and I daren't buy anything at the moment in case I've got to postpone the date. But I'm keeping optimistic that I don't. It's all going to happen. Right, so I've got my flowers. So I'm going to join my flowers together. And I'm just going to use a bit of 3D glue gel for that. So I'm going to do some that way. So what I'm doing, oh, can you see if I've got to move my thing up again? I don't know whether I'm in shot or not. Yes, I am. Right, so I'm just doing some 3D glue gel. See that twin layered like that? Doesn't that look different? And I'm going to slide that up a bit actually. Now, when you're attaching anything like this, and I'm probably preaching to the converted here, a bit like floristry, with scrapbooking, it's good to have things in threes or odd numbers, 3, 5. Apparently, the reason being is it's kinder on your eyes. So when people are looking at things, apparently seeing things in odd numbers is kinder to the eye. I was listening to a program on the telly about it. So whether that is true or not, and whether that is why that rule of thumb comes in for floristry as well, I don't quite know. I think that is quite enough there. I don't want too many flowers. And I'm going to leave that there, and I'm going to do some more written journaling up there, I think, to tie that across there. So they're my flowers. Now I'm going to pop little gems in the middle. I know Jean's well ahead of me, so she won't be. So, but you could put, I put sequins up here. But I'm going to do some of these gems, and I'm going to colour them. But I don't want that brown colour I had before. I want something, let's go with a bit more of an orangey colour. Let's see what this looks like. So this is another thing. If you've got plain gems like this, you don't have to buy coloured gems, because you can just colour them with your alcohol pens. I think that colour goes in quite nicely actually. That will do. So I'm going to pop those just in the centre there. Excuse my big hands in the way. And that one in there. And that's down there. And then the last one here. Right, I think we're coming to an end. Some of you may have even finished. Not sure about that, but well, give me a thumbs up if you're nearly finished. You all gone quiet out there, or are you all doing flowers and gems? Right. So the toolkit I used here for any newbies is a flower forming toolkit. Okay, so again, quite a handy thing to have if you haven't. Another must, in fact, I'm going to put some more of these gems up here, and I'm liking that. I'm going to put some more gems. Changed my mind, artistic license. I'm going back in with that orangey colour. And I'm going to pop some just coloured ones. And I'm using that rule of odd numbers again. So I've got 5 there. Let's see what that looks like. Because I had sequins on the original layout. Ooh. In fact, actually, that looks quite nice because that's tying down. I was going to do my journaling up there, but I've got the pocket, haven't I? So I can pop my extra journaling in there. That's quite nice. Yes, I think we'll keep it like that. In fact, I might do 2 more, make it 7. Let's be a devil. Let's have 7. Because we can. I've got lots. So, yeah. So, if you haven't got any gems, was it Sherry that said she hadn't got any gems? Pick yourself up just cheap, just the clear ones. Because if you get some alcohol pens, the clear ones will be, and I'm going to bring one down on there. Look. Perfect. So, that's that bit done. Just got to write on here my title, and I've got to confirm the date actually. This was Ireland, but what I want to do is, what I should have done before class and I didn't, was check the name of the bay that we were in. I have got it on another layout I've done, but I don't want to rush it. So anybody new as well, another good thing to have in your crafty stash is a fine liner pen. This is a black one. Just picked up from the craft shop. So these are really good. You missed what I said about adding the photos. We'll message it to you. Right, yes, no problem at all, Chris. Yeah, I'll mention it again in a minute as we're finishing. So, yeah, so fine liner black pen. So that is actually what I've used on my original. These are great for doing your journaling on your tags as well. Okay, so they're great for anything like that. So I haven't added these extra pieces here on this layout, and this is what I'm saying. This is the page sketch. Okay, this is your starting block. So this is your starting block. This is then where every time you do that layout, depending on your photographs, depending on your papers, it will look totally different every single time. I'm not going to put any more on there. I just need to add my title, and I want to confirm what bay we were actually in. So I'll be writing that on then with my fine liner. Okay, so I think I'm done for today. So I hope you've all enjoyed the class. Give me a thumbs up if we're all okay and everyone's happy. Are you all still with me? Got quite a few of you still with me, or are you busy still sticking down and making flowers? So that's today's class. I haven't got my watch on me, so I can't even check the time. Yes, we've got lots of thumbs up coming across and love hearts. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, for tuning in. So this was page sketch 2, scrap along. And don't forget, keep your page sketches. I put mine in a ring folder because they're always good as a reference to use. I've kept this one quite simple. Thank you very much, ladies. That one is my original. This is it. You can put as much on it or as least on it. The choice is entirely up to you. So Jean's telling me it's 11:30. That's brilliant, Jean. Well, 35 minutes past. That's great. So, yes, the piece I've used here is a wooden piece. And you're right. I was going to put a heart down there, which I still could. But actually, I'm wondering if I should or I shouldn't. I'll tell you what, should we have a vote? Should I have a heart there with a string? Give me a thumbs up for yes. No yeses. Or shall I leave it as it is? Give me thumbs up if you think I should leave it as it is. Right. I'm going with the vote. I'm going to do a Joe Wicks, as they say. I'm going with the vote of everybody. So, people are telling me to leave it off this time, Sherry. So, I'm going to leave it off. Okay. So, I haven't used it. So, thank you very much for tuning in. So, it's been just over an hour. So, not too bad. That's great. So, I hope you've enjoyed this hour and taken a little bit of time out while we're in lockdown or while we're in isolation and keeping our distance to have a bit of fun, do a bit of crafting. So photographs. photograph your finished layout for me. Please, please do. I'd love to see what you've done and the colours you've done. Doesn't matter if you're going to tune in later and do it. That is absolutely fantastic. Not a problem at all. So photograph your layout. And then if you go to my Dawn's Inspirations, my normal main page, and if you go along a bit, you'll see a bit that says community, but go on there and just do a post. It will go to community. You'll think, oh, I've lost it. It's not posted. It goes to what's called community, and then I'll have to bring it forward to the main page. Not a problem. Okay. So put it on my Dawn's Inspirations page. Okay. Not my Dawn's scrapbooking page, because that's a different class altogether. That is for my scrapbooking ladies that I do classes with. You're welcome. Ladies are saying thank you very much. You're getting lots of love hearts and thumbs up. So thank you all for joining me. Has this time been good for everybody? Shall we do the same again next week? Are we doing thumbs up for next week? 10:30 on a Wednesday? Yeah? I'm up for doing 10:30 on a Wednesday if you guys are. That's absolutely... Oh, thank you very much. Right, that's great. So we've got thumbs up, 10:30 next Wednesday. Brilliant. That's great. So thumbs up next Wednesday, 10:30 again. What I'll do on the Monday's bank holiday here, but I'll still try and get it done. On Monday, I'll do a little live like I've done this week. And I'll show you the supplies you're going to need, because I think a lot of you have found that quite helpful, having a little shopping list so you've got all your bits on your desk. And I love the fact that Jean this morning photographed her desk with everything ready to go. I thought that was fantastic. So thank you, Jean. That was great. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to say goodbye now, because otherwise I'm going to keep waffling on. And I'll see you next Wednesday. And we will do page sketch number 3. See you later.